This is an activity that I set up to look at what happens when we multiply two complex numbers. So I put in 2 points, A with a modulus r and an argument theta, and B with a modulus s and an argument phi. And I've also put in the product AB. So first of all, I'd have a look at what happens when we multiply two real numbers. So for example, 3 multiplied by -2. So I'm going to change my phi value to pi. So if I type in pi and press enter, and we can see that we've got -6. So thinking about what's happened to the 3, well, it's been stretched by a scale factor of 2 and then rotated by pi radians. Next thing I could do is verify that I squared is -1. So I'll change my pi and my theta to pi over 2. And then change my 2 moduli to 1. And then we can see that we do in fact get -1. So next thing I'd do is look at what happens when we multiply, say, 3, a real number, by I. So I'll change my r value to 3 and my theta back to 0. And we can see that we get 3i. So what's happened to the 3? It's been rotated pi over 2 radians in an anti-clockwise direction. Next thing I could do is have a look at what happens when we multiply 3 by 2i, for example. So we can see that it's been stretched by a scale factor of 2 and then rotated pi over 2 radians. The next thing I'd look at is multiplying 3 by a complex number. So I'm going to go to my phi value. I'm going to change my phi back to 0. And I've set up my step size as pi over 6. So using the constant controller, I can change the argument. And I can see that my product is being rotated by the value of the argument. Next thing I'd do is look at what happens when we multiply two complex numbers. So I'm now going to change theta. Starting off with theta is 0, but I've also set up that as a step size of pi over 6 as well. So then we can use a constant controller to rotate that, and we can see that the product again is being rotated by the value of the argument. I could also set that up as an animation. So clicking options here, and to do the repeat animation, I'm going to change the speed to the lowest point. If we go from 0 to 2 pi, and I'm going to do a step size of pi over 48, and then press OK. And to set up the animation, all we do is press play. And then we can see the product is rotating. So as a conclusion, to find the product of two complex numbers, we multiply the moduli, and that has an effect of stretching the number, and adding the arguments, which is a rotation in an anti-clockwise direction.